YouTube. Go live here. And go live. Why not? All right, we're live. Oh, man. Let me share this to Facebook. I got a late start. Oh, no. 9 o'clock. And I'm not sure, if there's a creative way for me to discuss while I'm sharing. I'll try to figure that out. Got the new camera rolling. No more up the nose shots. I know some people are very happy about that. Let me see. Why is this taking so long to load? All right, there we go. Share. Holiday episode, we'll call it. Post. All right. There. What is up? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the What Had Happened Was podcast, coming to you live September the 2nd, 2018. Just like that, summer is officially over. The tourists go home. You can reclaim the beach towns, even though the weather will be probably, I don't know, 90 until the end of September. We have football games coming on Thursday. We already had college football games this weekend. It was stupid hot. There was kind of some weird weather, kind of some shit weather, actually. There were like rainstorms in between that kind of made it hard to go and do some stuff. We got to go out and become regular old restaurateurs. We went to I think it was Yellow Fins. I kept wanting to call it Yellow Tails, Yellow Fins in Long Neck. And I only had appetizers, but I was pretty impressed. We had tuna nachos, pickle fries, and the hell else? Oh, boneless wings, Old Bay. And the boneless wings I was pretty impressed with. They were breaded, but they were actual chunks of like breast meat. It wasn't like the Cisco chicken tender kind of style that's like super breaded. This was like, I think it seemed to be breaded in-house, real chicken breast cut up into like little almost cubes, I guess you would call it. No real rhyme or reason. There wasn't like a whole bunch of uniformity to the shape or size. So I really like Yellow Fins. We'll probably check it out one of these Sundays here for a football Sunday coming up. I'd like to get out this Sunday because the Jets don't play. I don't think the Eagles play either because they play Thursday night to open the season, as most Super Bowl champions do. So that'll be a fun weekend, actually, because Eagles fans, my friends that are Eagles fans, we'll be able to just enjoy the day. We won't have to worry about watching our teams or being miserable at 4 o'clock if our teams lose. Not that I get that miserable anymore. I used to really take the Jets losses to heart. I guess they had so many of them that I just don't give a shit anymore. I do still follow football the most religiously of all sports. Went with Ryan to a DC United game. Appreciate that. Big thanks to him for letting me tag along. Parking was $50. Beers were $11. It was insanity. It's in a shit part of town. It's down by Nationals Park, which I know if you're from DC, that's probably like blasphemous, but it's a pretty shit area. We went to some brewery that was like an outdoor brewery. It was insane. I think it was called Bardo Brewery. Like everything, like the fucking cisterns or silos or whatever the hell you call them that you keep beer in, were literally outside. It was 95-degree heat. They were outside. The people were sweating. The credit card machines were inside this little trailer, so you would pay. It would take them like 7 minutes to process your transaction. The beer was pretty good. It was better than we went to the Salt Line, this restaurant, like right on the I don't know. It's not the Potomac. It's like a finger of the Potomac River. I want to say it's like the Ashkaguga or something river. And it was called the Salt Line. And that was where we got our $11 beers. But after that, they were like 7, 8 in the stadium. They were 12. The new DC United Stadium is really nice. It's obviously meant for soccer. It's a really cool 20,000 capacity stadium. I'm not a big fan of these mega stadiums where if you're sitting like in the upper deck, you can't see what the hell's going on. So it was really nice to get out there and and see that game. I feel like it's been a long time since I've done one of these standalone editions, because I did the fantasy football one, and the plan was to do a Sunday episode that night, but the other episodes were still getting views and listens, and I didn't kind of want to step on their toes because fantasy football is such a fleeting, I guess you could say, thing. Like, I'm not going to do it every week, so I just did the draft one, and I know a lot of drafts were last weekend and some even still this weekend. But I was pretty bummed. Not bummed. I mean, it's nice to take a week off where I don't have to do this, but I do enjoy doing it. That's why at 9 o'clock on a Monday night, before I head back into work on a Tuesday after a week off, here I sit in front of my computer to do this. I need to get a clean shave done. I haven't shaved in about 2 weeks, and I'm feeling like a fucking crackhead right now. It's pretty nasty. But no, speaking of football starting, I saw an article going around that Hooters, I guess, is having issues, and they're thinking about closing down stores. And one of the reasons they said was because millennial men, especially, don't like to objectify women and stare at breasts. They don't like the restaurants. And as a borderline millennial guy, I can tell you that that's a load of horseshit. Men don't mind objectifying women still to this day. It's not an issue. Millennials, I don't know, Gen Xers, Gen Zers, none of us mind objectifying women and looking at boobs every now and again. It's just that the food is shit. That's all we want. Our generation wants decent food at a decent price. We're not going to pay fucking $42 for 3 beers, order a boneless wings because you have a girl with some push-up bra and some titties in my face. Like, that's not worth $42. I have Pornhub on my phone. I have beer in my fridge. I have an HD 1080p screen. And I have the ability to cook or order out food. So I can sit in my house, see titties, drink beer, and eat the better quality food for much cheaper. That's the issue. The issue isn't that millennial men are any better than their fathers or their uncles or their grandfathers, or that millennials in general don't like objectifying women. It's just that they don't like chain restaurants. They don't like shit food. Applebee's is having issues. Red Lobster, Outback Steakhouse, Texas Road, you name it. And any of those like national chains are having issues because they serve overpriced shit food. The places that are thriving are your mom and pop shops, your brew pubs, and as much as I hate it, because like the food there is expensive as fuck too, but at least it's good. Like, I'm paying $14 for an avocado BLT, and it's slamming, but it's fucking $14. You can get an avocado for like $2, a pound of bacon for, I don't know, $7, and some wheat toast for like fucking, I don't know, you get a whole loaf for like $2.89. So basically a whole loaf of bread, a pound of bacon, and an avocado. I'm subsidizing the rest of that, and I still have to tip on top of that, which we went to on top of Yellowfins today. We went to the Penguin Diner, I guess it's called, in Bethany, the Penguin something or another. And I was pleasantly surprised with the quality of food. We went there for brunch. Brunch was good. I had a blueberry crush, really good. I had an orange crush, and then I had a Bloody Mary, which was also really good. The food was good. I had a ham. I was going to say a ham, egg, and cheese omelet, but what the hell else besides egg would be an omelet? So it's a ham and cheese omelet. Lindsay had avocado toast, a little bit of hot sauce on top, 2 sunny side up eggs on top. Really, really good. But again, then you cash out at the end of the day. So for me and Lindsay, whatever, I think it was like $60, $70, whatever it was. A little expensive for a brunch, no doubt. But then you got to add tip on top of that, because for whatever reason, restaurants have gotten away with basically treating their employees like second-class citizens. Whereas if, let's say, I think you get paid like $3 an hour to be a server. If they up that to even 15, which I know is, I don't want to fucking get any of my conservative listeners in a tiff by saying $15 an hour, but let's just say 15. So that'd be $13 more an hour. There were, I don't know, six, seven, I don't know, 6 or 7 of us at the table. So you got to figure, if each of us were there, we were there for probably, I'd say, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops. And if each of us tipped $10 to $15, we basically subsidized the next 8 hours of her employment, where if when they die or when it goes to lunchtime or whatever, for that restaurant, by tipping $10 to $15 each couple. So you got to figure, at some point in time, we have to kind of figure out a way to stop letting these businesses kind of take advantage of their customers. And I know it's been this way in America forever. And it's not like a hill I'm willing to die on. I'm not going to die on, though. We should stop tipping and make restaurants actually pay their employees hill. Trust me, it's not the one I'm going to die on, but it is something that is rather annoying and rather baffling that we allow service industry to pay people such shit. And I get it that other service industries, like salespeople, essentially work for straight commission. They don't really get paid. So they only get paid off of what they sell. But at the same time, they're bringing in a good, or they're delivering a good. Whereas with a waiter or waitress, it almost just becomes like fucking annoying that they have to check back so often. You're in the middle of a conversation, you're trying to have a conversation, they got to check in. Everything good? How is everything? Is everything? Can I read? Blah, 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 which I guess is nice because heaven forbid my drink gets less than halfway full, or I get more than 3 bites of food in my mouth before I have to tell you my opinion on the appetizer or the meal. But I feel like it would just free up a lot of that, and people could actually converse, as opposed to have to like looking over their shoulder, like, can we start a conversation yet, or am I going to have to wait for the fucking waitress to come butt in and ask me how everything is, or ask if I have any questions with the menu, like I haven't eaten before. And I get it, there are some weird things on menus, but it's like, if you have any questions, let me, like, what could I possibly, it's all literally written here in fucking plain English right here. It's all like, there's the price, there's the ingredients, what comes with it. If it's 2 sides, there's even a little section for side. Like, I don't know what I could possibly need from you that I can't just ask you when I place my order. Like, if I did have a question, all I would have to do is say, oh, by the way, I want, I don't know, the Flaming Johnny. But also, I see that comes with 2 sides. Can I substitute a broccoli for a mashed potato? Yeah, then I'll ask you when I'm ordering. But other than that, I'm not going to have any questions. Just hand me the shit, hand me my drinks, get out of my face so I can talk and have a conversation with my lovely wife, who is out watching The Bachelor in Paradise right now, and I'm a little jealous. She gets to go out there and watch Bachelor in Paradise. I have to sit here and record my podcast. I guess I don't have to do it, but it's what I'm doing. Oh shit, talking about the NFL. It's going to be NFL heavy. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys don't give a shit about the NFL, but I do. I still watch it. I care. Even if the players take a knee, I'm not going to boycott the NFL. Oh, speaking of which, I just saw that Nike and Colin Kaepernick released an ad campaign. So get ready to see that all over your goddamn Facebook timeline about how we should boycott Nike. Let me see the exact ad. It was a pretty good one. It was basically, let me see here, Kaepernick, Nike ad. I think basically, I don't want to misquote it because it was like a fucking sentence. I can't misquote it. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. Just do it, Nike. So trust me when I tell you, your conservative friends, your faux news, your Fox News friends are going to be on one, as they say. They're going to be on a tangent and on the warpath for Nike. They're going to want you to boycott Nike. They're going to tell you, and in a quarter, if Nike sales dip even like 0.1%, they're going to be copy and pasting all kinds of stories. Look, Nike's sales dipped thanks to them backing Colin Kaepernick. What a stupid decision by Nike to back Colin Kaepernick. I think it's great. He's been signed with them, I think, for like 5 years, and they just, for whatever reason, didn't want to put him behind an ad campaign. And now I guess they decided the time is right, that they'll put an ad campaign behind him. And good for him, because the guy obviously hasn't been making money in the NFL. I'm sure he needs streams of revenue. He can't just continue to give away money to communities in need, which he has done, believe it or not. All you fucking haters, he has given money, his own hard-earned money, away to communities in need, and has willingly done this. Like, it's not like he was forced to, or his agent told him he should. This was done by Kaepernick. And I get it. He wore the pig socks. He wore the Fidel Castro shirt. He did a lot of things to piss people off. But what he never did was basically say that he was doing this to disrespect the flag or disrespect America. No, he was doing it to bring awareness to the fact that police were murdering minorities at an astronomically high rate. And when I say astronomically high rate, I don't mean it like trillions and trillions of people are being murdered by the cops. but I said the word rate. So in comparison to other people who are killed by police, it tends to be. I don't even know why I have to explain this at this point. Fuck it. If I have to explain it to you, go fuck yourself. Like, it's pretty obvious there's an issue. And still to this day, unfortunately, there's an issue. It's not going away anytime soon with the way police handle their job. And I get it. We can go with there's a few bad apples but guess what? A few bad apples spoil the bunch. And until the good cops stand up against the bad cops and don't lie for them on their police reports and don't try to cover things up and don't say, oh, Johnson was in fear for his life or whatever it is they say, until we get to that point, you're not going to get the argument from me, oh, it's just a few bad apples. No, right now, it's pretty obvious that the thin blue line, the Blue Lives Matter, all that that basically flew right in the face and was almost like an answer or a response to Black Lives Matter. Like, they were so offended that these minorities, these people of color in communities like Chicago, like New York, Baltimore, DC, it's almost as if they were so offended that they were actually, saying, please stop killing us, that they had to come up with their like a response slogan. It's just bananas to me how the whole Blue Lives Matter, thin blue line thing started. Like, the Black Lives Matter movement never once said like only Black Lives Matter. They were just trying to say like, hey, Black Lives Matter, could you please stop killing us? And I know I'm stupid 30-something-year-old white guy. I'm not trying to act like I don't have any kind of bias or any kind of like racism that creeps into my own thoughts and prejudices and things like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to seem like I'm some woke dude and I know what's going on in the world, because trust me, every time I hop on Facebook or get into an argument on Facebook with a person of color, African-American friends of mine, I'm very quickly shot down and I'm told that I'm basically, a guy who has no problem playing both sides. And that's fine. I get it. I'm not claiming to be some sort of social activist or anything, but as a average everyday American, I just don't understand how we can't see that this has been an issue. And I applaud Nike for putting Kaepernick out in front of an ad campaign that basically, as I said, I'll repeat it again, believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. And I'm not looking forward to my Facebook feed because I do live in a rural area. I do have a lot of friends who are conservative persuasion, I guess you could say. And 10 years ago, that was fine. There was nothing wrong with the kind of political rancor, the back and forth, like you're for socialism, you like lazy people, you want everyone to be on welfare, but no, 2 years ago it unfortunately got to the point where people are like legitimately afraid to talk about politics because they don't want to lose friendships. And I think part of that is because Americans are just scared of confrontation a little bit. Like, I can hate your politics and tell you I think you're a fucking idiot and still want to hang out with you, grab a beer, shake your hand at the end of our little bar hangout, watch football with you, go let our kids play on the jungle gym together. I can do all of those things and still think you're a fucking moron when it comes to your politics. But I understand that I am the minority when it comes to that most people cannot separate the two. They play those identity politics and they feel that if you're not with them, you're quite literally against them. And it angers them and it pisses them off. And I did not mean to get on this tangent for fucking 5 to 10 minutes, but all I got to do is mention the name Colin Kaepernick, and it fires me up because I don't understand how that went from please stop killing black people nonchalantly to we hate cops, we hate America, we hate the troops, we don't want to stand for basically what this country stands for, when it's quite the opposite. They seem to be taking a stand for what this country should stand for, liberty and justice for all, not just for certain people. But I don't want to go too far on that. But part of the NFL, the Oakland Raiders, who are moving to Las Vegas, and their new stadium in Vegas will have a jail in it. And I think this is a good thing for Eagles fans, because now people will finally realize that Eagles fans are not complete shit. that they're made out to be. Like, do Eagles fans take pride a little bit too much in the fact that they're shitty humans? Yes. I've been to plenty of Phillies games. I've been to plenty of Eagles games, and there are definitely more than a handful of Eagles and Phillies fans who take pride in the fact that they're jackasses, or they're not liked, or whatever it is. They pretend they don't care so much about being disliked. They fucking co-opted a chant from a soccer squad. Basically, the whole "no one likes us, we don't care. We're from Philly, fucking Philly. No one likes us, we don't care." But really, we do. We care immensely, and we hold on to that identity. We care about it so much, we created a chant. But please believe that we will tell you that we don't care, even though we deeply hold tightly onto the fact that we're shitty humans. And then when you tell us we're shitty humans, we'll talk about, oh, the Santa thing wasn't a big deal. He was drunk. We were protesting the fact that he was drunk Santa, not the fact that we're just shitty humans and we threw snowballs at Santa. They've always got some. It's like they want to play both sides. They want to play the victim, like we're not that bad, but then at the same time, they're proud of being pieces of shit. So I don't get Philly on that one. But I will say, Philly fans are not that bad. Out west, fuckers die at Dodgers games. Fuckers die at Raiders games. People die at Dodgers games. People die outside of USC, UCLA games. And that shit just gets swept right under the rug because it's sunny and 75 year round, or there's fucking forest fires raging for months at a time that people just don't care. They don't report on it. So it doesn't make its way east, I guess, when 5 to 6 people die every year at sporting events in the Bay Area. But in Philly, some kid gets puked on and it makes national headlines, and it talks about how shitty the Philly fans are. But the Oakland Raiders are putting a jail at their Vegas stadium. So I know it's going to be a destination spot for a lot of people, especially a lot of guys, bachelor parties. It's going to be fun. Go to Vegas, go watch a football game, bet on the football game. It will be a shit ton of fun. But just be careful if you're out there, because I'm sure for these first couple of seasons, they're going to be trying to make an example out of people. No doubt about it. You're being rowdy in section 222. Get ready to go see the judge in the fucking basement, because they will take you there. Still on the NFL. We're still rolling, still NFL heavy. I'm sorry. So, everybody, depending on who you talk to, some people will tell you the NFL numbers are down, the NFL numbers are this, the NFL numbers are that. Well, here's the real truth. People aren't watching as much TV as they used to. So, yes, the NFL numbers are down, but the NFL also had 71 of the top 100 telecasts live on TV last year. Sports has become the only thing that is destination television. Everything else between the DVRs, the on-demands, the Netflix, the binge watching. I'll wait for the season to end so I can just watch all 10 episodes, whatever it is. The only thing that has become destination watching is sports, and the NFL is still king. And that is how they will continue to make their money. Attendance is going to dip. Attendance is dipping right now in Major League Baseball, and it's freaking owners out. But it shouldn't, because we're not in the fucking 1980s anymore. We're not in the 1950s anymore. You know what you have? You have televisions. You have the ability to stream on your phone now. People can watch things in many different ways. They're going to go to the stadium less and less. Why would I go to a stadium, spend $12 a beer, have to hassle for seats? I'm outdoors. Maybe it's 30 degrees out. Who knows? I'm doing that once a year, right? I'm going once a year. I'll take the family. I'll spend $500. I can't do that every week. Football games, there's 8 of them a year. If I did that every home game for my favorite team, you're looking at like $4,000 a year. Let's just say 8 times 400, 500. That's like $4,000 a year to take my family to go see football games. I'm not doing it when I already talked about the stuff I have on my phone, the P hubs. I got Bud Lights in the fridge. I've got a 60-inch HD television. Why am I going to freeze my ass off, pay $12 for a beer, pay like $18 for nachos that are overpriced? I'm not going to do it. So I don't think these owners should care so much about the attendance dropping. Yeah, it sucks because you want home field advantage, but at the same time, the NFL had 71 of the top 100 live telecasts this past year. They're going to be able to command huge dollars from advertisers. That's just, it is what it is. Advertisers still want to put their shit on TV for some reason. I don't understand why, but they really do. Oh, there went my audio. Let me reset this. Oh man. Boom. Reset. Sorry, guys. I don't All right, I should be back, I think. I hope. All right, yeah, I'm back. We're running. All right, yeah. So, like I was saying, 71 of the top 100 telecasts on television were the NFL. They're going to be able to command the ad dollars because, for whatever reason, advertisers still think people care about the ads they see on TV. Netflix, the anti-commercial company of the world, has started to roll out commercials, and it freaked customers out to the point where Netflix had to release a statement basically saying they're not commercials, they're trailers. Oh, really? They're targeted trailers. They're not, we're not idiots. They're commercials. Whatever you want to call them, they're commercials. And I get it. That's the only way people can confirm where their advertising dollars are going. But not too many people care about it. And right now, the NFL is king of advertising. And you'll see that on your screen starting on Thursday, all the ads that are going to take over. So let me see. That was enough about the NFL. I should have just taken my little audio jack up there as a hard out, as they say in the business, and gone to Cosmo. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Cosmo put a morbidly obese model on their magazine cover, and they got a lot of shit for it. Basically, I think Piers Morgan, obviously the jackass that he is, was basically like, this promotes obesity, and you shouldn't be putting this on the cover. It's definitely, hey, what's up, Jeremy? Hope all is well. Hope you're ready for the start of the NFL season. So basically, saying that you shouldn't put these morbidly obese people on magazine covers because it promotes a bad image. And my first knee-jerk reaction, I think, was, I do think that it promotes an unhealthy image. But then after like 12 seconds, I was like, well, what's the difference between that and a size 0 model, which is also an unhealthy image? And then I rail all the time about the benefits of video games. And there are plenty of people who say that playing violent video games will make you a murderer, or playing video games all day will have a bad effect on your brain, or it'll affect these stimuli and all this stuff. And if I say playing violent video games does not make me a murderer, I can't say that seeing someone on the Cosmo cover that's morbidly obese will make me morbidly obese, or a gay couple on TV on Wednesday night that all of a sudden now I'm going to become gay. So it was just disingenuous, and it didn't go along with it wasn't consistent with everything I've ever said. So while I do rail a lot on the obesity epidemic in the United States, and I think it's an issue that no one really wants to talk about for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because you feel like you're fat shaming, or I don't. It's weird. Like, Americans are, like, if you talk to like people from Philly, for example, they're such assholes and they're so rude. But Americans are like smiley fucks that are afraid to be honest with each other. Like, that's one thing I do love about my friends is they'll tell me, like, that looks fucking terrible, or you look awful, or you got a booger hanging out of your nose. Like, they'll let me know, and I love that. That's one thing I love, and I wouldn't change. But by far, as Americans, we just pretend the problems aren't there. The obesity epidemic. I don't know what the Eminem. Apparently, I'm real happy about his album that he just released, Kamikaze, which I've heard is really good. I've only heard one song on it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I listened to it, but I've heard it's really, really good. He released it without any fanfare. It looked like it had a little Beastie Boy tribute on the cover. Pretty excited about that. But we have the obesity epidemic. We have a mental health issue in this country that we ignore, between depression, suicide, just people being untreated. Like, we have a healthcare epidemic in this country, where people who have insurance end up fucking bankrupt because they had a heart attack, or end up bankrupt because they got cancer. It's insanity to me that we have these issues in our country and we do absolutely nothing about it. Just la la la, like the goddamn Smurfs. La 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 la, sing happy song. And then we just have a whole bunch of Gargamels. There was one Gargamel in Smurfs. We have like fucking 75 Gargamels. Healthcare, obesity, mental health epidemics, gun violence, name it, the widening income inequality gap, racial tension. We have like 1,000 fucking Gargamels, and we're just like the Smurfs. La 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 na 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 na. Just fucking Papa Smurf over there, doing whatever he does in his red goddamn outfit. and we're all just everything's fine here. This is America, where we, heaven forbid, we challenge someone and then be called fascist, or I don't even know what you get called now, a snowflake, a libtard, a cuck turtle. I don't even know the terms, but I'm just saying it's blatantly ridiculous, the things we kind of sweep under the rug and pretend don't exist, and obesity is one of them. But I do not think putting a morbidly obese model on the cover of Cosmo is going to cause anyone to be more obese or be more likely to be unhealthy. I think people are going to um, do their best to not be like that. Like, I don't think anyone looks at that and says, "Man, I want to be morbidly obese." But what it does do, if there is a girl who is morbidly obese or a guy who is morbidly obese, it can say, "Oh, there are other people like me. I'm not the only one. Life can get better. Look, she's on the Cosmo cover." And where you're from, that small town where you may be the only overweight kid, or you may be the only gay kid, seeing things like that. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I just burped into the microphone. Seeing things like that on TV or in the mainstream media can only be good. And I know that my old fucking fogey, listeners are going to be like, "Well, that's just the liberal media telling you how to think." And it's not. It's just them actually representing the country that we live in, as opposed to the 50s and 60s, when everything was all white and there was maybe the one black sitcom, and then you had Ricky Ricardo on I Love Lucy, so there was the Hispanic guy, and that covered it all. It's not the liberal media telling us how to think. It's not the Hollywood elites telling us how to think. It is just them representing the country we live in, and there are a growing amount of morbidly obese people, and if they can be represented, and I don't think it's glamorizing, and I don't think it's like 13 Reasons Why. I'm not certain that glamorized suicide. I have seen differing studies. Some say that it helps suicide prevention, and others say that suicides actually peaked after kids watched it. So again, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows all the answers, but all I know is that exposing everyday humans to the actual makeup of America cannot be a bad thing. So I initially wanted to go on a rant about Cosmo and having a morbidly obese model on the cover, and I just couldn't, because it's not. I don't know. It would be, as to quote the Bachelor in Paradise contestants that Lindsay's watching right now, it would be disingenuous. Or no, they don't say disingenuous. I forget what they say. Disingenuine. That's what they say. Disingenuine. Because that's not a word. Disingenuous actually is a word. It would be disingenuine of me to sit here and say that video games aren't going to make you a killer. Watching 13's Reason Why isn't going to make you commit suicide. But all of a sudden, if you see a fat person on the cover of Cosmo, you're just going to start stuffing your face and become morbidly obese. But we do have to talk about that. I mean, they're the morbidly obese. I am alive. I don't know. The rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. Mike Dundarski coming up next. WKQRT Radio 97.2. The Fox. I don't have enough gray hair yet to be a silver fox. I don't have any hair on my head. I'll never be a silver fox. I'll just be a fat, bald fuck for the rest of my life. So I have that going for me. At least I've already kind of seen. I'm just going to get grayer. Like, it's not like I'm going to lose more hair. I'm going to look pretty similar when I'm 65 to I do now, which is sad, but at least I kind of see where the trajectory is going. It's not as if it's not like I can go downhill. I guess I can go downhill. I can fucking die, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see, 33 minutes. Oh, so I got a little bit of flack because September, I am going to be teasing a lot of my boss babes, my mom entrepreneurs. I'm going to be clowning them for pretty much the whole month of September. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to eat a Snickers bar for breakfast and a king size Snickers bar for lunch. And then I'm going to try to lose some weight while doing that. So I'm actually going to run, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, things like that. And I'm going to be making snarky posts like, "Boss Bay, if I can make the time to eat a Snickers bar, so can you. Hashtag momtrepreneur, or ask me about my Snickers," whatever it is. So, and what I do want to say is that hating doesn't always equal jealousy. I know it's an issue we have in the States. Like, I've kind of pounded this home that we're I don't know, we're too nice, I guess, in the States. So, but hating doesn't always equal jealousy. Hating could just mean, I think your decision is shit. And who am I to say your decision is shit? I get that. Like, I'm not you. I don't live in your shoes. I don't live your life. I'm not trying to claim that I know the best decision for you. But what I am saying is that just because I hate doesn't mean I'm jealous. Typically, it's for me, it's quite the opposite. If I'm hating on you, if I'm hating on some of your decisions I made, it's far from me being jealous. So I don't know where that whole if you're hating, you must be jealous thing came from. No, you could just be a piece of shit, and I could be telling you that. Or your idea could be a shitty idea, and I could be telling you that. I'm not jealous of your shit idea. I'm not jealous of the fact. I am so blind. Did I say that I pounded a hoe? I'll pound a hoe with my knuckles because I'm a married man. I don't mess with hoes anymore. Not around here. If anyone listening to the podcast right now is curious what I just randomly said I pounded a hoe for, I'm doing the Facebook live feed and it came up in the comments. So I don't want you to think I have Tourette's or I just had a stroke. I promise that it was in response to something. You just can't see what it was in response to. But no, I'm not jealous of you, and then that's why I'm hating on you. I'm just hating on you because I think your decision is stupid. And when you hold up your keys to your Mary Kay car or your Arbonne car, fucking neat. I have a minivan that my job paid for. Like, it helped me pay for it too, believe it or not. And when I go to conventions or I go to luncheons, they're usually paid for. I don't have to pay for them, and I don't have to, find a fucking sitter or whatever it is. I don't know, these boss bays do. I just put them in daycare, which I guess is like the worst thing in the world to do. Heaven forbid someone more qualified than me in early childhood education teaches my kid some of their milestones. I don't know. So look for that in September. Look for that in September. And I'll so if do I think that I'll piss off some of my friends that are women that are some of these MLMs, whether it's the LuLaRoe, whether it's the Beachbody, whatever it is, the flavor of the month, the essential oils, Young Living, Unique, Shakeology, Herbalife, fucking name one. I don't know. Arbonne, Mary Kay, Amway, fucking Melaleuca, you name them. There's a trillion of them. But so I apologize in advance. I'm not singling any one of you out. I'm not singling any one of you out. I'm just making fun of that whole trend in general. So I apologize for that. But with that being said, I already bought my breakfast and lunch for tomorrow. It was $1.98 for breakfast and lunch. I'm going to save myself a shit ton of money doing this. I'm also going to lose some weight and get in better shape. So I'm going to go take my before pick right now, actually. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a football preview on Thursday. I know this whole goddamn episode was NFL, so whatever. Go titty fuck yourselves. I will see you on Thursday. Well, I won't see you. Well, I might on Facebook if we do like a live stream chat or something. But either way, go titty fuck yourselves. I'll see you on Thursday. I just said it again. I'll be back on Thursday with a new episode before Falcons Eagles. Peace out.